Okay, we're going to work on calculating simple and compound interest since we didn't get to it yesterday. Simple interest is interest equals principal times rate times time, and compound interest is the amount, your total, equals principal times 1 plus the rate, which is always in percentages, multiplied by time, or to the t power. So let's go over a problem real quickly. Alright, so we have a problem now. It says Yolanda, how much will Yolanda earn in 6 years if she deposited $3,000 into an account with 4.5% simple annual interest? So just like with the 3D shapes, this is just plug and play. I start off with step 1. Boy, I have a hard time with my stuff here. Step 1 is to write the formula. So this is simple interest. So I equals PRT. Step 2 is to replace the, here unlike the shapes, we don't have to worry about replacing any of these with something else. Instead, we can just replace these directly with the money or the numbers. So interest is the unknown. We do know the principal, it's 3,000. And that's going to be multiplied by the rate, which is 4.5%. And 4.5% is the same as 4.5%. And we have to move this to the left twice. And that puts a placeholder in there. So it's actually 0.045 is the decimal that we're going to use. 0.045, and that's going to be multiplied by the time, which is 6 years. Plug that into the calculator, and you will get sorry, 810. So this is just the interest earned. So her overall account is now $3,810. So that's important to know. Interest. And the total balance would be 3,810. So this is what she earned, but this is what her total balance is now. So this is the answer that they asked for in this question, but it's also good to know what the balance is going to be. Okay, so now we have another one. This one is dealing with compound interest. And so it's Marco's balance. What is his account balance if he deposits $3,000, which is the same as Yolanda did, and to a 4.5% rate, which is what Yolanda had, except Marcos is compounded monthly for 6 years. So in this case, we are going to start off with writing out the formula. And since this is compounded interest right there, talks about its compounded interest, we start with this formula. And we just plug in what we know. We don't know what the new account balance is, but we do know what the original was, the principal, which was 3,000, times 1 plus the rate, which we calculated as being 0.045. Now here's the tricky part. He's doing it for 6 years, but it is calculated. Apologize. It is calculated every month. So not only do I need to calculate 6 years, I need to make sure that I represent 6 years in terms of months. So since there are 12 months in a year, I have 6 years, I do 6 times 12. And so this all simplifies, really simplifies down to this amount here. 3,000 times 1.045, and we take 1.045 72 times, so multiply it by itself 72 times. Put that in your calculator, and in your calculator it would look probably like this: 3,000 open parentheses 1 plus 0.045 if you didn't want to combine it like this, and then you'll use your little caret, which is on the right side, I believe, and then you would say 72, like that. Also works on your phone if you turn it sideways. And the amount that we'll get is 3,930. So this is the answer to the first question, what's his new account balance? Right there. So we got the account balance. We check on that. And what is the amount of interest he earned? Well, that's going to be $930 because he started with 3,000. Now he has 3,930. So the difference right here is the interest earned. And how does that compare with Yolanda? It's greater interest. And we can go as far as saying it's greater interest because amounts were the same, but Marcus's account was compounded. So we would say that it was greater, and not all compounding will be greater, just because there are situations where you will earn less money through compounding just because maybe it's a shorter term or a smaller balance. But since all the amounts, the principal and the rate and the terms were the same, this T could also stand for term, not just time, but just the term. Because all that was the same, and the only difference was that Marcos had his compounded, that's why his is greater. So hopefully that'll help you get through the rest of your savings packet.